Okay, the group keeps growing. We got Ty, we got Levi's first time on the pod. Jack Agner joining us. Levi, how you feeling over there?
Man, I'm excited. It's a pleasure to be back here. This is only the second time I've been in the room. Third time I've been on a pod, so excited to get back into it.
I remember when you and Ty were in here after spring training, rookie year, right?
That was a while ago.
That was
after we got killed.
After I was hitting bombs. I was still hitting bombs.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But yeah, always fun to have some new voices on, a couple of new partners in crime here. And Brendan Jorgensen is our guest this evening. He'll be coming on to talk about the Magic versus Malards series, going into all of the craziness, the darkness, the car headlights, Jorgy's pitching, of course, and Robles almost vomiting. So that's the bulk of the conversation. Then we wrapped up with a little more of our generational gap conversation than talking about Dude Perfect's newest video series, Squad Games. So stick around for it. This is the Pipe It Up podcast, and cue the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pipe It Up podcast, the official podcast of MLW Wiffle Ball. Full house, full crew, Levi, Ty, Jack. And to kick off the show this evening, we have Brendan Jorgensen joining us via Zoom on the phone after a big series. Definitely led the Malards to what was a closer series than I had thought. But we did squeak it out and win it. Jorgy, I was not there. I had heard we won 2 out of 3. I didn't really know in what capacity. I heard about the headlights at the end. But you guys almost lost that series. I was not there. Obviously, you pitched a lot. So what happened? I really wasn't involved, obviously, in actually managing the front lines and managing the roster and the bullpen. So I know beforehand in the group chat, you guys were talking about putting yourself in versus Trey or Preston, but you stayed in and opted to go instead of Robles. What were those conversations like during the series about managing the lineup without me there?
Yeah, when it comes to just the initial second game who was going, I think just me, Trey, and Preston just all kind of thought the same thing, just kind of give me a shot. They, had their ups and downs this year on the mound, and, I pitched a little bit last year, maybe like 3 innings, so they were all cool with me going, and I felt confident to throw strikes, and it worked out better than I thought it would. Got to go into extras, battling with Brady there. And then when it comes to game 3, that was really tough because we didn't really have a guy necessarily like you, because you weren't there, Tom, to just make the decision for us. So it was kind of just like a group think. So Trey and Preston were kind of just, letting us decide, me and Jordan kind of seemed like he was undecided too. He's like, you can warm up, I can warm up, we can see who feels good with the ball. And I don't know, I just warmed up with the ball. I think I liked the game 2 ball a little more, but I don't know, I had fun pitching game 2, so I was like, I'll do it again. It was a good time.
All right, Jorgy, you definitely had some success in those games pitching. It was really exciting to see you on the mound. Also surprising, not only to me, but also the fans. How are the nerves like getting back out on the mound, and what was your strategy facing the Magic lineup?
Yeah, so, it was definitely a shortened Magic lineup without John Paul Gunn and Grant being there. So definitely I wanted to make sure that we didn't let, Brady beat us. He beat us in game 1, and there was definitely, you could see in the video a couple of times where I just kind of pitched around him, intentionally walked him. And then when it comes to confidence, I don't know, I just kind of went out there the first inning. All my pitches felt good. My slide drop was moving a lot. And then just as it went by, I felt like I was doing a good job of knowing what pitch to throw when, and that was something that me and Preston would kind of talk about as I walked back to the mound. Something the Mallards are actually really good at. Like Jordan does that a lot with us too. So I think just game plan wise and just pitch selection was really better, here on the Mallards than it was in the past for the Gators.
Now, Jorgy, I do got one question for you. I know after a stellar game 2, you're coming in, into a game 3 where you have the series tied and you have your ace with eligibility. I feel that in another neck and neck MVP season between Cratch and Robles, I want to hear from your perspective, but having a teammate who's in that MVP contention, what does that say about Robles to kind of show some respect to you and take a step down, even though he could have used that game as a game 3 to boost a MVP contention a little bit more? What does that just say as a teammate and about him from your eyes in that series?
Yeah, that's the first time I haven't thought about that. I guess just when it came to making the decision, and like we were all just basically thinking about winning that third game. That was more important than any award. I think that was kind of on all of our minds because I didn't even think about the MVP signing or anything. Obviously, if Jordan really was thinking about that, there was plenty of time for us sitting there to him just say, "I want the ball." But he was cool with me going. I don't. His stuff wasn't terrible. He kind of just had that one swing and a couple hits before that, the Brady homer. So I definitely would have been fine if he went, but he kind of seemed indecisive, and I was kind of warming up, and I felt good. So that didn't even go through my mind when we were making that decision. I'm not sure if it went through his, but
Yeah, I would just add in there that definitely did not the Magic Clubhouse did not have on their bingo card Brendan Jorgensen pitching 2 games for the Mallards. Not to say that I don't think we were prepared for it, but we definitely felt like we were seeing Jordan really well. He didn't really have his 2-seam working, I think, the way he has in series past. So we were not surprised like at all when they went Brendan again. We were kind of hoping they were going to throw Jordan again. So yeah, hats off to you, Jorgy. Again, it was for the old veterans in the league. I know you were whooping my team's butt, but it was I did feel I was happy for you that you went out there and pitched so well.
yeah, I think a part of it too was kind of a reason where I kind of went away from pitching initially was because, and honestly, a lot of guys in the league, you look at like the aces and the pitchers in 2020 when I got in the league, and you look now, most of those guys don't pitch anymore because not because they're bad pitchers. Sometimes just the other hitters see them so much. So me kind of like taking a year off. We played the Magic last year. They didn't see any of me. They saw Preston. They saw Jordan for 2 games. So just kind of just something new, even though I used to pitch before, but I haven't pitched in a while. So maybe that helped too.
I applaud the courage, Jorgy, for you to go out there and go for it, but I'm also a little surprised that it went as well as it did. I think it's been a trend where guys that used to be great at pitching and then stop for a little while and try to pick it back up again, it usually doesn't go great. I mean, we've seen Drew take a crack at it. It didn't go the best for him. I feel like McGlade has been touch and go, who's a little bit on the older side. I've obviously completely lost it on the mound and don't even make anyone watch that anymore. So it's just impressive that you're able to pick it up like riding a bike. How was the body feeling the next day? A little sore at all, or are you still just a young, spry man?
That's a good question. I don't know if I remember.
Probably weren't sore then.
I think it was fine. Like maybe I felt it a little bit, but yeah, I wasn't. Me and Tom went to get some work in not too long ago, and Tom was texting me 2 days later that he still couldn't move his body. So I don't think it was that bad.
Dude, so yes, obviously the Mallards have clinched a spot in the playoffs. We do have another series to get ready for that I would like to contribute in. So I'm like, Jorgy, I got to get out there, man. I got to get some reps in between these series. And it was just him and I. So I was like, all right, well, I want you to pitch to me. I want to see some live pitching. I'll do my best to pitch to you. I can't promise anything. Honestly, I'll give myself a solid B for what I put together.
Not bad at all.
It was not good, but I thought it'd be horrific. But I was at least like getting it close to the zone on most pitches. And Jorgy was very patient, which was nice. But oh man, I like coughed the next morning. I was drinking water and nearly choked while I was driving and started to cough. And just like all my obliques, my whole core section was just so sore. It hurt so bad to cough just from pitching wiffle balls. Shoulder didn't feel good. Traps were toast. We're getting old. I don't know what else to say. But Jorgy, that's I do appreciate it very much that you took the time to go practice with me. Thank you. I think that was a little bit selfish of me to ask because, yeah, but I mean, are you really getting a great practice with me as your pitcher?
Yeah, any swings work. It's not like you were just lobbing them. You were able to. You had a little 2-seamer going pretty well. Probably throwing towards the end, you're probably getting that 67, 68, I'd say.
Gas.
I mean,
Gas.
I didn't know you could touch that, to be honest. So,
I mean, I was never one to throw hard. Let's put it that way. I fed in my prime. I only threw a baseball like 80, 81 at my best pitching wise. So, yeah, wasn't a hard thrower.
There are a lot of comments on the YouTube video talking about night games and how people want to see more of them. I know a lot of guys in the league definitely do not agree with that. Jorgy, what was the experience like pitching and hitting, with car lights lighting the field and just it being dark out? The game's getting late. How is that, just playing in that?
well, I'd say if we somehow get some sort of light system, then yeah, absolutely, that'd be awesome. But for the makeshift thing we did was it's awesome when it happens because that usually means something crazy is going on. Like in that situation, it was a lot of fun, but all the time, probably not. Hitting, it's not as bad as you think. I mean, it's definitely different, but I mean, you saw Trey and Jordan go back to back and
Right.
it wasn't very light out, so they were able to see it enough. I didn't quite pitch in that last inning, but the inning before, pitching's pretty similar, maybe a little different. The worst part, honestly, was that last inning, me and out in left field. I couldn't see a thing. We made two plays in the field, and I think it just worked out that they were like kind of grounders right to them. If I got a liner at me, I would have probably just like thrown my body in front of it just to stop it. I couldn't see anything. Even in the video, I was like, you just see my green shorts out there. You couldn't even see me out there.
Yeah, it definitely got pretty dark out there.
And that
Yeah.
green headband, that was standing out also.
Yeah,
Dude, that headband was sick. I'm not gonna lie.
gotten a lot of compliments on that,
Yeah,
Tom.
it was awesome.
Good. You can wear it again. I'm not going to say you can't.
Maybe that's the strat to, that good of a performance is wearing that headband.
Yeah, again, if you pitch bad, Jorgy, the headband was done.
Yeah.
You might as well have thrown it away. But you played good, so you earned the swag.
Yeah, you gotta have
You earned the swag. Yeah. That's right.
If we wear blacks again, I'll wear it again. The green doesn't really mesh. It's a different green than our all green, so it doesn't mesh as well. Maybe a white headband with those, but yeah, the blacks, it's the way to go.
We're most likely going to be. Jorgy, let's talk about this now. I didn't do the math myself, so we're guaranteed to buy. Is that true? According to your math?
Yeah, but that's according to if the tiebreaker. So let's say, for example, if us, the Gators, and the Eagles are all tied because we're 0-0 against those two teams, then we'd be ahead of the Eagles who are 1-2 against those two teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
like
don't know. I
we're
don't know how
counted
the
as
whole
500 instead of
Kyle
zero.
actually came down before this started. Before we started recording and talked about strength of schedule and talked about how it's about just the record of the teams that you've played against is what strength of schedule means. So I don't know where we'd fall in that rankings. But regardless, I think at worst we'll be like a 3 or 4 seed, so we should have a higher seed than our opponent. If we get to pick our color, I would like to wear black, but we'll see. We'll see. Don't want to make any promises.
Up to you, Cap.
Well, Jorgy, I got to say congratulations on those 2 amazing games, but I do got to convert a little question over here to Jack. Jack, I know Tommy Bean, fellow host of the Pipe It Up podcast, how disappointed were you that he was not at the Meadows that day to face off? Just take me through, when you got to the Meadows, what was it like just not seeing?
You knew I wasn't coming.
Oh,
But, Jack, I'm assuming you were pretty sad.
I was very bummed. I talked about it last week, I believe, and you heard me in the mic'd up session give props to Tommy.
Yeah, I like that.
He fell on the sword, and he let me kind of take that play date with my players instead of him. It was kind of, I think the Mallards, that was the date that worked out for them, the majority of them regardless, but it was a bummer. That picture of Tommy and I jersey swapping is probably one of my favorite pictures I have on my phone, to be honest. Other than all the ones of my daughter now.
I was going to say, hold on.
It's right up there with the pictures of your daughter.
Outside of those pictures, that's one of my favorite picture. So yeah, it was a bummer. Always a fun time, playing against like the guys that I came into the league with. Like my friendship with Tommy has grown exponentially as I've been in the league. But we obviously were, friendly when I came into the league. So it was a bummer, but again, appreciate it, Tommy. And it really just, it makes it feel like it was all for nothing, since I don't even think I recorded a hit, and the Magic didn't get the series dub, but I do appreciate it.
Wasn't all for nothing. You had a shot to succeed. You got Jorgy, Jack. That's what happened.
I got Jorgied, which again was not on the bingo card.
You got Jorgy. You never saw it coming.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't see it coming. But you guys battled. Like, again, I didn't know the series was as close as it was. And Jack, I don't even want to hear your answer. I want to hear Jorgy. Like, honestly, did you think this series was going to be as tight as it was? I mean, games 2 and 3 could have gone, game 1 even. Like, it could have gone either way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we were. I didn't go and think we were gonna like sweep or anything. I know RJ can kind of just get it done on his own, no matter who's not there, no matter what team he's on or whatever. So if I were to predict, I would probably said 2-1 us. But yeah, I mean, that last game was crazy. Even when we went up 2-0, I kind of choked that away because I went 7 innings of them not really seeing me that well, and then just that inning they were just on top of it. That's kind of why we ended up going with Jordan in that last inning. So yeah, they were down 2-0. They were. I thought that AJ slide at home, that looked much closer on camera than it did in person.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked when he called it safe on the field, and then I saw the review. I was like, ooh, it was a little closer than I thought. So I mean, it was that far away from us losing that series, and that would have sucked after the performance I had earlier. But luckily, Trey and Jordan got my back hitting those homers, and then Jordan shutting it down that last inning.
Glasses Trey, weapon.
He's a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, to add a little bit of context, so to echo what Jorgy said, I had a perfect view at it, and you guys got another penguin dive out of me into home. That's becoming a theme, which is great. But I had a great view at that finish, and I also thought that he was out. I won't say by a mile, but like the eye test I thought he was out. So when Kyle called him safe, I was kind of shocked and excited, but I didn't think it would stand. And then, yeah, watching the video, it definitely looks closer on video, but I think that was the right call for sure. And then, yeah, I was proud of how we fought, to your point, Tom. Another bit of context, I think, for AJ, if you go, please, I mean, I don't want to laugh at people getting injured because it's not funny, but on the first at bat that AJ had, or the first swing that he took and ball that he put in play, his back started spazzing up, and he was dealing with really bad back spasms the entire series. Like, that were basically, all he could do was get up there and get in the box. And that's why you saw me playing in the field. I mentioned in the mic'd up segment that I don't normally play in the field. And the only reason I was playing in the field was because AJ literally could not move. So if you go watch the video back and that play at home, please watch how AJ was running from first base and rounding the bases, because it's like comedy how slow he's moving. Like, if he was healthy and he was running, I think he would have been safe by a mile. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, and it kind of is what it is. But I was proud of the way we fought, just ultimately came up a little bit short.
Yeah, Jack, to add to your point, I think in that series, there's a lot of little mistakes that happened that ultimately led to the Mallards taking that series 2-1. I know the overthrow by Brady, the bang play at the plate. I just want to know from your perspective how you feel as a manager of how to change and kind of fix those things up and help improve your team to hopefully get a playoff opportunity and then take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, those are kind of the things I think just come with like experience. I mean, before that play, I mentioned, like I said to Brady, I said, if it's back to you, like right back to you, just throw it to one, right? Because we had 2 outs, and that's the easier play. That it's a lot, It's a lot like cleaner of a play. There's just a lot more wrong when you try. Like there's a lot more things that can go wrong when you try to gun it home. But it's also sort of the instinctual play, right? You grab it and you're already facing that way, and you want to just throw the guy out at home. So I'm not like knocking Brady at all. It's just part of learning, and I think if he's in that situation again, he'll make the right play, the next time. Unfortunately, now we're sitting here and kind of letting our fate be determined by the upcoming series. So, if we are fortunate enough to get a chance for the playoffs, I think some of that stuff will be cleaned up. Again, I thought I did okay in the field, but you won't see me in the field in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll, get Johnny there. Obviously missed him today. So, definitely a lot of stuff to clean up, but I think that just comes with experience.
With the series win, Mallards do clinch a playoff spot.
Yes.
Correct. All right.
Correct. We know that.
We know that. We don't know.
There's speculation of the bye.
Yeah,
I don't. Who knows at this point?
Whatever happens, how it shakes out. We don't know what other teams necessarily are in yet, but just forget, who's in and out. What are the teams that you would want to face? First round, second round. Just what teams you want to face if you got to choose.
Well, for World Series, it would be the Gators. If it'd be cool to play the old team, with Chris and Jason and see them in the World Series. That'd probably be my number one for the World Series specifically.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I don't want to sound soft, but I think the Mallards are usually okay with avoiding the Eagles. They just seem to have our number.
You say that.
If we get them, I'm down for it and ready for it, and I hope we can beat them. But statistically, as a stats guy, you'd probably want to play someone else. Outside of that, Cobras maybe.
It would be so sweet to have the opportunity to face and defeat the Eagles. It's a challenge for sure, and it's funny because growing up when I was younger, like in high school, that was like the hump that young 13-year-old Daniel Schultz couldn't get over was the Mallards in the playoffs. And now fast forward almost a decade, and the tables have definitely turned. But I feel like a few years ago, like it felt like the D-backs were kind of the team, and now it seems like the Eagles are the team. And it always feels great to knock off the defending champ or who you think is a great team in your route to a championship. So I would love the opportunity, but if we do have to play them, whether it's first round, second round, or in the championship, it would be a tall task. But to me, it would feel very fitting to have to go through the Eagles to win anything. So I'm not opposed to the challenge.
Probably going to end up happening. So
very well could.
Yeah,
very well could.
Just how it would be.
Just how it goes. Jack, anything else from you on for Mr. Jorgensen?
Why was Jordan throwing up?
Oh, great question.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a great answer for you. I think
that's fair. I should probably ask Jordan.
Yeah, he better for him. I think he kind of talked about in the post game.
Yeah,
when we were down there. I think he just had a really early flight that morning. He just had a long day. Was exhausted. I don't think it was anything really more than that. I don't actually think he threw up though. I feel like in the video and in the post game, it made it seem like he did. I don't think he actually did. I think he just thought he was going to, went back behind the fence just in case, and then he just came out. He's like, all right, I'm good.
Got it.
I'm good. Let's just win the game. Dog.
Yeah.
I dog move.
I do want to ask, because now we do have the manager of the Mallards here, and we've seen what Jorgy, that would be Tommy. We've seen what Jorgy can do. I guess in this, this next playoff series, can we expect to see Jorgy again? Have we talked about it in the Mallards group chat? Where are we at? Because now it seems like you have options for who you want to throw number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and number 4. So where are we at, Mallards?
Truthfully, Jack, I would say without question, if I have to give the ball to somebody else other than Robles in the playoffs, it's going to be Brendan Jorgensen after what we saw against the Magic.
Wow, nice.
Not
That's
the
awesome.
answer. Not the answer I thought I would have given you in April, and I think at this point in everyone's lives, I think both Preston and Trey probably have a higher wiffle ball pitching ceiling. Sorry, Jorgy, but right now Jorgy's got the hot hand. So I think Jorgy's got the veteran presence. He has the playoff experience. Season on the line. Who do I have more confidence in to be level-headed and throw strikes? I think it's Jorgy at this point.
That's fair. Devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
His performance was against one guy who couldn't move, one guy who just got his first hit like a couple series ago, and then another guy who, I mean, just he just can't play anymore. And then he threw around Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Is this too small of a sample size to really know the capabilities of Jorgy?
Yes, but it's going to be large enough in this.
Yeah, I don't think it's like
All right, fair.
me and Jordan are 1A, 1B or anything.
No.
He's still 1. And then, I mean, I think if you just take like me and take out all the hitters, just me and like the strike zone. Like
Exactly.
I felt like
Exactly.
I did a good job of
No,
you
you
working
absolutely
around that,
did. You
no matter who
absolutely
the
did.
hitter was. And Trey, I don't know, Trey, like his pitches just moved different this year. Like you could tell like he couldn't get his like drop ball working. I think he had like an injury there in that last series too. That kind of, remember what it was. But yeah, I agree with like Preston and Trey. They have better ceiling because they play a lot more than I do. But I feel like in a playoff situation, you need strikes at least. I think I can do that.
No, I'm 100% just stirring the pot because that's my
Yeah.
job. Jorgy, for those of you who watched the video or didn't watch the video, he was doing such a good job because he was making us, like, he was actually throwing strikes. Like, a lot of guys can, strike people out by being around the zone, but Jorgy was, mixing up pitches that were actually strikes and, darting away from the zone, and just really confusing us in that way. And like, it's kind of funny when you see some guys strike out looking when there's just like a straight ball and you're like, how did you not swing at that? But it's because a lot of those times those are the pitches that actually don't hit the zone because they haven't moved yet and they end up moving in and out of the zone. So yeah, I mean, Jorgy, I thought he was very impressive. He was very impressive. So I was just kind of, stoking the fire there for you guys, but I'm excited to see what the Mallards can do.
As am I. I would love to contribute to the postseason success, but I've also got a roster that is proven to win without me. So if we're at full strength and have the other 4, I think those will be the 4 that get a shot to, take the field and start in the series. But doing my best to stay ready. So we'll see. But Jorgy, thanks for coming on the show, man. Thank you for practicing with me. I do appreciate that. And congrats on a great series. We'll look to see you out there in the postseason. Good luck to you and I and the Mallards.
All right, Jack, you have fun with those hot dogs, dude.
Thanks,
Yep.
man. Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get
Thank
to
you.
that. We'll get to that.
All right. Thanks again for Jorgy for hopping on. It was a great time talking to him. I know he answered a lot of your guys' questions as well as ours. We're going to just wrap up the segment with a little bit more talking about the series, specifically with Tom and Jack, the 2 managers of the teams that played. So, guys, any final comments, questions, concerns?
I do got one for Tom here.
Oh, you got a question? Okay.
Yeah. So the one time I've not been at a series, I was itching to know what was going on. So I was been, texting the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
I know for you as a manager, it might be a little bit different, but were you at times during the series, were you informed on what was going on at all? Just about like kind of a game by game, or were you just like, I'm not going to pay attention until after the series and we'll see from there?
Yeah, both the series that I've missed this year, I wasn't really at liberty to like have those thoughts because the first one, I was off with my sister's, it was soon to be husband, now husband, on his bachelor party. And the time that you guys started that series when it was Mallards versus Cobras very early in the morning, so that with the time difference there, I was just waking up when that series wrapped up. So I wasn't even awake when it was being played. And then for this one, I was on a work trip, and I think I was actually out to a dinner with my boss and some colleagues. So down in Dallas, Texas. So both times I was just wrapped up in other stuff. And then while I'm out to dinner, I'm getting my phone's ringing and it's Trey, and I'm like, oh, the series is over, and then I get curious. So I'm preoccupied. But if I was just sitting at home doing nothing, obviously I would be there or I'd be thinking about it. So I just got the shortened version of it. We won 2-1 at a text message. And then I heard later on that Jorgy pitched 7 innings and shut the lights out. And I'm like, what the heck? I didn't hear any of that. And then I heard later that there was a series that was played where car headlights had to come out and light the field because it went so long. Turns out that was our series, and I didn't know those two things were lined up. So all this was new. And then watching the video back, I learned even though Jorgy pitched great, those games were down to the wire, both of them that he pitched in, and we could have easily lost that series. And I was impressed by the Magic's ability to fight, truthfully. I was surprised that Jorgy threw 2 games, but not upset by it by any means. I think that shows, again, a lot of maturity by Jordan to show trust in Jorgy, and it shows leadership. And I was definitely bummed I wasn't there to play because, obviously, playing against Jack is always fun and fun for the pod. And last regular season series of the year, I was hoping to maybe see some more pitches and get right before the playoffs, but long way to answer your question. But it's always a bummer missing a series, Yeah. You only get 5 of them a year in the regular season, so it sucks when the calendars don't align. But I know what it's like to be a major contributor to a team's success and having to make those decisions. If that guy can't play that day, we just got to play. So now that I'm on the opposite side of it, I'm that guy now. I'm that fringe guy where it's if everyone else is available on both sides, all the core guys, and I'm not, then it's I think it's better for both teams, for the video that's output, and for the league to get the best talent out there. If I can't make it, I can't make it, So it is what it is. But Jack, I was definitely impressed by your Magic. You're a frisky group.
Yeah, man, we're just throwing out different lineups every series.
Exactly, that's why it's impressive.
Yeah, I did want to give a shout out to John Paul Gunn. Just the fact that he couldn't get there was a bummer. His car got totaled. He didn't really have a good way to get there. So that was a real bummer. I felt for him, and then I really felt for Brady. I mean, we have been kind of waiting, not waiting, but just sort of wanting someone to step up and sort of solidify themselves as that number 2 arm. And I thought he just pitched unbelievably well in the second game. And, we kind of talked about how that ended, which I think he'll learn from, but he did a great job. I was super proud of him. I mean, he's already carved himself out to be the guy that they're pitching around, which I think in his rookie season really says a lot. So yeah, I was proud of the way that we fought too. This one was a tough watch. I'm gonna be honest. I waited till the last second to watch this video before the podcast, just because to your point, Tommy, it was so close, and it just came down to the wire. I really felt like we had this series, especially after winning game 1. When you win a game against Jordan Robles, there's just a lot of momentum that comes with that. And then Brady pitched so good in that game too. To not get that W was really tough. So proud of the way that we fought. Now, our fate is in the hands of, I believe, the Predators and the Diamondbacks. I think we need the Predators to win since we beat the Diamondbacks head to head. I believe is the calculation. I'm not positive on that, but I believe that's what it is. So it's not a great spot to be in where you're just sort of sitting back waiting, but we've been here before, and we're just, hoping and praying that we get that spot in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, you and the Wildcats both kind of find yourselves as teams that are in that waiting phase, seeing what happens, which is never great, but we'll definitely on next week's podcast break down all the scenarios for the final series of the year, because there's probably going to be 3, if not 4 teams that might end up as those bottom 2 spots versus the top 2 spots as well, and how this whole thing shakes out and what's been a crazy year standings wise. So I'm looking forward to doing that next week, and I'm looking forward to hopefully an exciting last 2 series of the year. D-backs, Preds, Eagles, Cobes, I think it is to wrap up. And I'm happy I'm not the Eagles, because playing a frisky Cobes team who needs to win is never fun when you get a team in desperation. I mean, it's different too because Drew is now on his way out. I feel like he's always a major contributor to that, but a guy like Andy is just a feisty competitor. So that'll be interesting to see. And then I think I forget who alluded to it, but Jack, with the Magic falling, that is you falling on the hot dog as well, as that concludes.
Yes.
That concludes our prediction challenge. We do have a clear winner this year. It is moi, and Jack will be eating the meat missiles.
I mean, like I mentioned before, I got a practice rep not too long ago at Costco. I'm honestly, I wouldn't say I'm excited for this, but I think, Tommy, you're going to help with the production at the very least of the live stream. So, I mean, I'm just looking at this as like, hey, this is a chance to hang out with my dog, Tommy, eat some dogs, and watch some baseball. That's how I'm looking at it, and that's how I'm going to attack it.
We'll get into this more, but I'm just curious. I'm a food guy, so I'm just curious as to what the strategy is going to be. Let's not get into complete strategy, but just give me the very least. What condiments, if any, do you want on site for the challenge?
Well, let me just say this. I think if the rule is it's got to be a hot dog and a bun, and that's 9.
Correct.
I just think it's from what I learned from the waffle experience. You got to help yourself out, man. You got to put something on there to make it more appetizing. Because once you get too much syrup. Once you get halfway through there, you're just like, man, this just sucks. Like it sucks, and I feel like I'm gonna hit the same thing with the hot dog. So I'm not saying I'm gonna put condiments on all of them, but I think some mustard's got to be there. It's got to be there.
Mustard's also 0 calories.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't really need the ketchup. I don't really need the sugar. I think the mustard is pretty much all I need.
We'll probably have ketchup on hand just for the aesthetic at the very least.
Right, yeah.
But upon request, Jack, anything you want. Relish, onions, some chili, cheese. Maybe
onions could
spears,
play.
Tomato
Onions
slices.
Could play.
You go Chicago dog for one of them if you're really feeling frisky, like a Cobra player right now. But no, we're gonna have a good time with it. We'll have to carve out a weekend in October or something, Jack, and try to make it happen.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be it'll be a fun live stream. It'll be a tough one. The Waffle House one will be a tough one to top, but I have a feeling this one will be fun too.
That was one of the worst days of my life. I'm just disappointed with how that went, and it was horrible to experience. It was a lose-lose.
Great live stream though. Great live stream.
One for the history books. Ty, I think you were in charge of capturing our comment of the week this week. You want to get into that?
All right, let's pull this thing up.
Pull it up. I did catch a glance of it. I didn't want Levi to hear it until
Jack, have you seen it yet?
I don't think so.
Guys, our comment, you'll see it right here. It's from KevDog. Found this on Spotify.
Spotify comment of the week. We've never had a Spotify comment of the week.
Well, I was looking at the YouTube comments, and I was like, I don't know if I want to.
Spotify. That's crazy.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that was I didn't even know you could comment.
There is one comment on it, and it happened to be this one. I was like, I got it.
All right, let's read it.
All right, KevDog says, please see this MLW. Even though I am a D-backs and Gators fan, if TC3 goes off in the playoffs and maybe even wins the World Series MVP, that would be the greatest birthday present I've ever had. KevDog wants to see a TC3 MLW World Series MVP.
God,
will this happen?
That'd be cinema. Well, you got to get to the World Series first.
That's true.
I mean, at this point, I think the only way I would win a World Series MVP is if somehow we get to the World Series and one of my guys was either injured or unavailable to play due to a family commitment or a job or something, and it forced me to be in the lineup, and then I somehow play fantastic.
I could
the
see it
stars
happening.
would have to align so beautifully. But
I mean, dude, like
you never know. You never know.
AJ Ackerman, man. Nobody had him, you know, taking World Series MVP. I couldn't take him out of the lineup. The guy was hitting bombs left and right. I've seen you do it, Tom. You could do it.
I've lived it. I've experienced it, but it's just it just takes one.
This is a crazy comment because he must, I mean, no offense, Tom, he must not have had very many good birthday presents because he's a Gators and a D-backs fan, but he's rooting for basically their rivals, you know, the Mallards, their rival, to make the World Series and win it with you as the MVP. It's a crazy comment.
Maybe
I mean, it is the comment of the week.
Maybe Kev Dog's just playing chess here, and he's like, all right, if I drop this on Spotify, I won't have a lot of competition with the clutter of comments. If I add Tommy's name into it, it's a better chance that they want to talk about it. So, Kev Dog, you win.
Great job, Kev Dog.
I think I would have a better birthday than you, Kev Dog, if I won the World Series MVP. And my birthday is like 6 months after the World Series. So that's how much I'll still be thinking about it if I somehow did that. That'd be incredible. I would never live it down after the 2 seasons that it's been since 2023. God, it's been a long time. Long time since I was good. But we'll see. A lot can happen. I mean, I wonder what like our true odds would be to actually make the World Series at this point. I feel like we're a good team. We didn't have our best day against the Wildcats. We had to fight against the Magic, who are like a bottom half team, barely by like 2 games, but a bottom half team on paper. So I don't know. At times this year, I felt like we were unstoppable, but there's also been days where it's like, I don't know. So I think it's just about getting hot at the right time. And stringing some things together.
I feel like honestly, even though, you know, if the standings, you looking at them now, even though there's kind of like a middle pack and you know you see the Gators and the Mallards up top just because they've played their slate 5. I just feel like with the parity, like if you were actually looking at odds in the playoffs, I feel like it would just be every team would be even odds. Like maybe maybe like the bottom, like maybe like 5 and 6 would be like, you know, larger odds, or I don't even know the right way to phrase that, but like it would pay out more. But it's just been so even. It's been so dead even. I mean, the Gators, you know, at 1, like you were saying, the Magic on paper are a bottom half team, which is true, and we beat the Gators. Like that it just shows to, you know, how crazy and how even it's been all year.
Yeah. I think that's why the series surprised me, because we've had your number in the past, Jack. We never had too much trouble with the Magic on the Mallards, and this was definitely an exception to that. But I think we all kind of agreed in this podcast before that there was really only one team who we didn't think could do it this year, and that was the Cobras. They got their work cut out for them in Slate 5 to make the postseason. But other than that, the other 7 squads, I feel like any given day at the Meadows, anything could happen. There's not like one clear. I have teams that I think are more dangerous with their roster and their aces, but any given day, just like we saw, I mean, that Mallards Magic series could have very easily been a sweep on either side. Like truly. You could even argue it was closer to being a sweep on your side because you won game 1 by a larger margin than we won 2 or 3.
I forgot to ask Jorgy about, because I'm pretty sure it was on him, or was it on him? The pitch that RJ had. RJ pitched great again. Like Jorgy said, it's like whenever we have RJ, we're in any series. So hats off to you, RJ, again. But the veteran gamesmanship out of RJ to ask Kyle if he's used his warning and then throw a 55-mile-an-hour change was like so unbelievable.
That was sweet.
And I don't think it was in the video, but like Jordan after was like, I knew you were gonna do that.
Oh, really?
I was like, I knew you were gonna do that too. Like you kind of like saw it coming a little bit, but it was a pretty cheeky move from RJ.
Yeah, that was. He's playing chess out there.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
like Kev Dog. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fellas, we got 2 newbies in the building. We had a couple different segment ideas today. Mm-hmm. I don't know which one you want to dive into, because Jack, we never finished our discussion on, or I guess never came full circle on our segment comparing our I don't know how you'd even describe that. Interests in pop culture?
Yeah.
Is that a way to talk about it?
Yeah.
And comparing our age differences? And now you got Levi, another young guy
Mm-hmm.
with the muzz. Levi grows a better mustache than I can present day.
Yeah, Drew Davis joins the Preds and got a
Is that
competition
actually,
now.
actually why?
Honestly, yeah, I kind of felt like I started growing it out, and then Drew comes along, and I'm like, I gotta top that.
Is there anybody else in the Preds growing it out?
Cratch has always kind of had one.
Yeah,
Evan Porter.
Will probably won't have one till he's 30.
Oh my god! What if Porter could just grow mean muzz? No.
No.
I mean, I couldn't grow
think
a
so.
mustache at that age. I can barely grow a mustache now. Jack, Agner was pushing out a mustache I bet you could have pushed one out in what, 8th, 9th grade?
Yeah, I mean, I think I honestly started shaving my face in like 7th grade
Yeah,
or
that's
like
crazy.
8th grade.
Yeah.
I don't think I was shaving my face till like 10th grade, and that was like twice a week. It was just like thin hair.
Yeah.
I wasn't shaving my face every day until like last year at 25. So, Porter, don't let him make fun of you, Porter. Come on.
Levi, how many of your friends your age also have a mustache? Can you turn your camera for a sec so I can see his mustache if that's possible?
Levi, walk over to you'll be in the main cam shot. Walk over here.
Got you, Jack.
There's the muzz.
Okay. All right.
Pretty good muzz.
That plays.
It's a good muzz. It's a good muzz.
That
I wasn't
plays.
being sarcastic.
To answer your question, not that many. I think it's not like people don't think it's sty anymore.
Wait.
I think it's Sty, Levi.
There's a word I've never used.
Oh, no.
Sty?
You've never heard of
Oh,
Sty?
I've heard
You've
of
heard-
it. I've
you've
just I've
used
never
it.
used it. I've never used it.
All right, well, I guess we'll put you guys on then.
Yeah.
Sty. That's
Sty.
the new word.
I don't think it's
It's not
new,
new
though.
at all,
I don't think it's
actually.
new,
It's
right,
not.
Jack?
It's definitely
No, it's
not.
definitely not new, and I
No.
definitely used it.
You did.
Not in a long time. Not in a long time. Not since I was probably their age. But
I don't know if I've ever actually seen someone in a real sentence use it. I've seen it on social media before.
Yeah.
What else do you say to use as calling people cool? Or I guess how do you define sty?
Sty is just, you're walking down the street, you see someone, and they, your attention diverts to them. You're like, they got that fit on, they're rocking that fit. That's sty.
That's sty.
it's just
even
the
if it's-
cool.
even
It's
if
just it's the bro way to say style. I mean, that's really it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if it's just wild, it's like, I'll see some people with some big sombrero hats on in, downtown Brighton the other night, and I was like, that's sty.
Okay. Okay. But the other thing we want to talk about, so there's that segment, which I just teased. Maybe we'll get into it later. But then Ty and Levi came in, fired up with Kyle about the new Dude Perfect segment.
Yeah.
Dude Perfect squad games. You
wanna-
guys have heard of it.
You want to describe that to the viewers that might
So-
not follow Dude Perfect?
If you don't follow Dude Perfect, or if you do and haven't seen it yet, so Dude Perfect's doing this new series where it's called Squad Games, where they invite out a different, sports related content group of guys, and they compete in a best of 7 series of just any kind of sport you can think of. They had basketball, football, pickleball, bowling, big sports, niche sports. But yeah, it's just a friendly competition amongst sports YouTubers, and me and Levi would like to draft a squad of guys from MLW that if we were to, be with Dude Perfect, have ourselves on the show with them,
Mm-hmm.
what guys would we take? So I think we're going to get into that here soon.
All I got to say is growing up, I thought Tyler Toney was the greatest athlete of all
I
time.
agree with that. I
that's-
still agree with that.
That's before I met Ryan Cratch. I mean, you could put it on. I'm sure there's clips of it. We were in AT&T Stadium, and this guy's making better throws than Dak Prescott was last year.
Dak
I mean,
Prescott's making some pretty good throws this year.
He
though.
is making some pretty good throws this year. He's leveled up his game, but Ryan can do it all. I mean, except for a backflip or whatever that was.
What?
The last
Tried to
series.
backflip.
Yeah, when against what was that last series? It was on
You
the
faked
mic
the backflip.
Faked the backflip. Close enough.
Okay.
But he's kind of a do-it-all kind of guy. Like, I could see that, that's a good comparison from our league to Tyler Toney.
The Ryan Cratched.
Yeah.
Wait, so can I? So to clarify,
Yes.
Do we know the sport, or are we playing multiple sports?
It's
multiple.
multiple sports. So it's best of 7 of each game in that best of 7 series is a different sport. And I think
Oh my gosh, how long are
alternates-
these videos?
it was like 40-minute video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little over half hour.
You alternate. The first one, Jack, was against Good Golf.
Yeah.
That was the squad they played against, and I think it alternates between Dude Perfect and their competitor, in this case, which was Good, who selects the sport
If
they'll
you
be playing.
lost the sport, you can choose the next one.
Okay, if you lost, there you go. So Ty watched the whole video.
Yes.
So it sounds like, of course, we have a squad of athletes, and obviously these young fellas and old fellas would like a shot in the squad games. So wiffle ball was on the board.
It was.
Correct.
Yep.
We got the relationship with Sparky. So maybe one day we'll catch the invite. We'll see.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I hope so. Uh-huh.
I unfortunately don't think I'm athletic enough to compete anymore, but I will root for MLW. I want that on record. I will root for MLW. And that's going to be the problem. If we ever get invited to that, it was 7 guys. Or how big was the squad?
I think it was like 7-ish.
Yeah.
So we don't know a hard number.
No.
That's a tough job if you're Kyle, saying who's going to be in the Dude Perfect video and who's not.
Yeah. I will say,
I mean,
Probably the worst job, actually.
Yeah.
That's a job that would have been appointed to probably to me to make those phone calls and say, hey, man, it ain't going to be you. If I was still around.
now, I will say, with some of the sports, I know they had bowling in there. I know we got
some bowlers.
we got some bowlers. We got some hoopers. I think Jorgy can hoop, actually. RJ can hoop. I mean, it'd be a tough.
Yeah, you got to be balanced.
Yeah,
like you said, Cratch is a good guy. Jimmy Norp's a good guy.
Jimmy
does
Norp's
all
all around.
sports.
Yeah.
And you got Kyle. He's the face of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
You got.
I feel like you got to have RJ in there on like height alone.
I think you got to have a height guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to have a height. You don't know what sport you're going to end up playing, so like you got to have height.
You almost got to have a Warda guy, like the guy.
I was going to say
quick.
Warda. You got to even it out. Then you got to go short, quick, tall, lanky.
Yeah,
I think that
Jack,
makes sense.
you'd be the strength guy. You're Division 1 athlete.
There's
frame.
Tommy. There
taller.
is no way if this actually came to fruition that I would be making the 7-man.
I mean,
roster
me
for this.
probably
There's
not by
no
me
way.
either. I mean, let's see if I think about it in my head. I'm thinking for sure like Kyle, Ryan. This is present day. Kyle, Ryan, Jimmy, probably Dallas, probably RJ. You got to think maybe Dan.
Dan.
I mean, Dan's
Dude,
it's
gotta
Kyle's
have
brother
Dan.
again. It's like it's part of the brand. Like you got to think about the brand of MLW.
that's true.
Dan's a brand guy, and then also you have characters like a Drew Davis. You have a Jordan Robles, who I didn't say yet. Like that's a tough squad to make.
Jordan, I love you, Jordan. He's not really the most athletic. He can pitch a wiffle ball, but we also saw him almost run through the fence in game 1.
That is true.
Andy Durand.
Andy Durand is a great athlete.
He's quick.
Andy's a good athlete.
But again, I feel like you also want to put like you're more. It's a popularity contest a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, no,
It should be. It should be.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jordan Robles would take the popularity vote over Andy Durand.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going just like pure athlete, Durand's like the top of the list.
Yeah.
I would think.
I mean, I also got to have a coach here, and I'm thinking of some coaches in my head, but I got one that comes from the Mallards. I think, or a former Mallard, and Matt Carlington. I think that if we got a coach, we got to get Coach Matt.
Coach
Gotta
Matt.
have him.
Mm-hmm.
I also think like Porter would be hilarious.
Oh,
Like
That would be
I don't
great.
know about that.
he's just so. I mean, I don't like making fun of him because of his height. I'm not making fun of you, Evan. I am a short guy also, and I don't love being short. It's fine, but not making fun of you. I'm just commenting on your height, and you should embrace it and keep striking people out because you're amazing. But like the thought of a YouTube video where you have like the 6'5" Cody Jones, Dude Perfect, versus the 5'5" Evan Porter.
4'11".
Okay. That would be a great piece of content.
I mean, you can't
That'd be
get
a
much better
great
content
piece of
than
content.
that. Really.
Yeah.
No.
That is true.
Like, that would be amazing. So, these are the things that I think about all the time.
Yeah.
But good luck to Kyle if that decision ever has to be made.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to pick up the discussion at the next available podcast on movies, like we promised
Yeah,
we
we
would.
will.
Because we did social media and we did music.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, with Jackson.
Yeah. We got to do movies for our age.
Yeah.
We don't have
What was the
don't have a segment name.
what's the 15-second spark note conclusion from the social media one? Because I think I missed that one.
Snapchat is like the primary thing that everyone who is a decade younger than us uses to communicate, Jack, over texting.
What?
And none of them have
Like writing?
yes,
Yep.
like
Not
just actual
Yep,
texting
texting.
via Snapchat text.
It's what everybody uses.
Yeah.
What?
And then no one has X, the Everything app.
What?
Nobody.
I don't know how they get their news.
Nobody has the Everything app?
Nobody
Just
has the
use
Everything app.
Instagram and
Instagram and Snap.
Instagram and Snap. Yeah, basically.
That's crazy. Does
Oh.
anybody have a Facebook?
No, not
Yeah,
unless
That doesn't
Or-
surprise me.
yeah.
I
You
don't
know,
even
I
think
know
a
about-
lot of people our age have
No.
Facebook, really.
I have a colleague who has a son who is a football prospect. He's getting some Division I offers and looks. And he described to me that his son looks at Twitter the way that people like you and I, Jack, look at LinkedIn. Like
Yeah.
Twitter and X is used for recruiting as like their business profile to coaches
Yeah.
to come find their highlights and see all their like height, weight, and different things in their bio, and that's like their Twitter page.
That is the only use.
It's the only use.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's the minute and 40-second version of the social media conversation.
Perfect. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
So, yeah. Guys, let us know in the comments if you enjoyed this episode. Thanks to Levi for joining us. First time on the show. Hoping to have him around a little more to kind of be a little, you got the Jack and I, the old duo. Now you got a young duo, and we'll see how we can mix everyone in. So, yeah, that's all I got, folks. Next week, I believe, is D-backs Preds, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. D-backs.
I think Kyle's listening. He'd probably be yelling down to me if I was wrong. So D-backs Preds is probably this Friday. Stay tuned after that video because on social media there will be all the posts, and we'll talk about it, about all the different scenarios from the Eagles-Cobes series in terms of what needs to happen to get certain teams the top seeds versus the two teams that will be eliminated. So everything is at stake in these final 6 games. Buckle your seatbelts for the home stretch here. And we will catch you all next Wednesday for another pod. Thank you.
Pipe it up, 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 pipe it up.